come on in, let's see how this property refurb is getting on. So today is 5 weeks since we picked up the keys. I think we picked up about dinner time on a Thursday. So it's 5 weeks today that we've had hold of this property. So at the moment, the refurb's progressing on quite well. However, what I would like you to do is please make sure you subscribe to this channel, like the video as well. And obviously, hopefully you'll find some value in the video. So from looking at this now, depending on how you, obviously if you saw last week's video or the week before, this was last week full of rubber bags, full of pretty much everything really. So a little tip, don't underestimate how much rubbish, debris builds up on these jobs, okay? So if you've got a decent project manager, they should always be coordinating when, the material needs to go and how it's going to go. If you're dealing with trades individually, make sure that in the quotes, or what we personally do, is that it includes getting rid of all material, because before you know it, the bags start to build up, and then that gives a signal to other trades that this is where the rubbish is, and then it just ends up a big, obviously, dump. So since last week, we've had the first fix plumbing sorted. So you'll see now throughout the property, we've pretty much got the radiators are likely to be going underneath all of the windows. What else? First fix electrics, I think, was done last week anyway, so that's not new or anything like that. So from here now, Cadent is supposed to be coming out on Monday, so obviously bring in a gas feed there. So we'll see what happens with them on Monday. Hopefully that should all go swimmingly. We've never had to bring in gas into the property from outside. All the properties that we have in our portfolio, they've always had gas. The gas meter, or the old gas meter, was downstairs in the cellar, and the person who had this before us, it's been cut off since 2005 or 6, so it hasn't had gas in this property for coming up to 20 years now. Last week as well, I think the fire surrounds were in. I think so. So those have been knocked out. Obviously ready for a plasterer when he turns up in a couple of weeks. Plasterboards here now. I think there's about 16 or 18, something like that. That's to, again, make sure that the stud walls and the ceilings are all going to be sorted using those materials. So if we're looking into the kitchen as well, we'll see that we had to sort out self-leveling floor. Hopefully, like the clothes I'm wearing today, because I'm just en route to the gym. So I didn't really want to be getting all dressed up to come here. What else then? Yes, so we've still got the first fix electrics in, like I said. What else have we got in here? So last week, because this is where the boiler's going to go, the boiler's going to go on this wall, and obviously fluid's going to go out there. So we needed to make sure these things happen, that was then moved across onto this side really, because I didn't want them to fit the boiler and then obviously start messing around saying they couldn't get the flue out or anything like that. So that's one little thing. What else here? So the kitchen, again, you might have seen it on Instagram or anything like that. The sink will be here. The washing machine in that corner. I think there's a corner unit here, obviously down there. This is going to be, what have we got there now? We've got the oven and electric hob, and then obviously extractor fan. What else coming just back around here? So I think it's 2.4 meters, there or thereabouts really, it finishes. And then we needed to give 600 for, I think it's about 600 for the fridge. And then we've got the radiator in there and so on. So what you will notice is, let's have a look here. Where's our lovely plan for our kitchen? As we're walking up the stairs, show you the plan for the kitchen is there. That's it. How professional does that look? Obviously, we've got a proper plan, but that was our rough drawings and so on. So we'll head on upstairs now. What else? I don't think I mentioned this last week. Obviously, when we're looking over here, you might be thinking of those two things for the spotlights. It's not. It's just central pendant and the making sure that we've got smoke alarms and CO2 and that type of thing. So you'll always need one on every floor. So again, we've got here the additional headroom. When was it? Was it this step? It was this step that you already needed to crouch down. Now, I'm not really a tall man. I think I'm about 5'11", 6 foot, something like that. So we needed to make sure that we obviously removed some room from this back bedroom there, and I think he put those in yesterday maybe just to prep it. Going round then, obviously doing an excellent job there, my camera man, or let's get all politically correct, camera woman. Okay, so let's go into this back bedroom now. So where are we going here in the back bedroom then? So again, sockets on this side for the electric, socket on that side for the electric. The radiator will go underneath the windowsill, and I think, yeah, he's just preparing stuff there ready for when the boiler obviously will be dropping down that side. This, again, things happen. So that's why you need to make sure you've always got a budget. So what I'd always recommend is if it's a refurb that's it's going to be about 20, 25,000 pounds or anything like that, and you're always using trades, you're obviously not doing anything yourself, I'd always give yourself at least a 10% contingency there as well. Same with the time frame, really. If it's expected to take 8 weeks, I'd also add on another 1 or 2 weeks. Just always have it in your head that things crop up. But these obstacles are there to be overcome. So what we decided to do here was, if you just have a look, obviously we needed to make sure we're putting a false ceiling in here to level it all off, making sure it's nice and neat. Coming back through onto here, again, if you can remember, it might go a little bit dark now. Those of you that saw the video, or maybe when we first picked up the keys, there was obviously lots of rubbish furniture everywhere throughout this property. This was just one big room because the shower was over in that corner, the double bed was here, and the toilet and the sink was in that corner. So it was all in the same room. So let's head on into the new bathroom. So with this now, I think the window was in last week. I can't really remember, or it was there or thereabouts. So we've got the window in. And again, don't underestimate how much small rooms, or any room really, but definitely need that natural light. So we needed to make sure we had a window in. From here now, the toilet will still be remaining where it is. So the soil pipe's still there. The sink's likely to go here. The radiator either on this side or that side. And from last week as well, he started to board this out, which is good. Got some rock wool in there, which is excellent as well. And then the bath will be here. Now, the bath really determined the size of, this is a temporary light switch, obviously, light bulb. The bath width obviously determined the width of this bathroom. So in an ideal world, I would have liked this 3 or 4 inches smaller or narrower to give more room to the bedroom, but it would have meant that where the bath is, it would have been quite tight, really. The door would have had to have been a few inches smaller, and then obviously the walking space as well. But either way, it's still far better than what it was a few weeks ago. So let's head on into the bedroom now, or the main bedroom. So going into here, then what's different, really? I think, again, this wasn't in last week, or should I say, it had the how can I say it now? The little bit of a fire surround display thing that's been knocked out. Last week as well, I think we had the electrics in. Yeah, of course we did, but they needed to put an extra socket in because we wanted 4 sockets in this room. So why did we not knock this chimney breast out? Purely because of financial things, really, okay? And what I'm saying there is we want to make sure that because it's a BRRR that we try and pull as much money out as possible. Obviously taking this out and downstairs out, 1,500, 2 grand, something like that. And it just knocks things, obviously, when you're looking at your maths and so on. So what we're looking to do with this is, obviously, when it's all done in about 4 weeks, organise for a valuer to come out, value the property when it's looking at its absolute best, see what it comes back with, and then obviously want to try and pull as much money out as possible, really, from this refurb. So ideally, it should be a no money left in deal, ideally, but we'll wait for that. What else have we got here down this hall? He's got his pipe there ready to drop down. He's left it there, sorry, the gas. He's left that there deliberately because he wants to make sure it's nice and neat for when the meter is installed. So, yeah, I think that's it, really, with this property. Looking up there as well, I don't think that was completely finished last week. It is starting to get there. There's things moving every day, which is what we like. It could obviously be going quick, of course it could, but at the same time, every week it's further and further along. And just for any new property investors out there, remember, things do happen, okay? Delays happen, trades might let you down. You know, you start, especially when it's pretty much you're ripping things back like this, you find things that you couldn't really obviously have expected. So that's why it's always best to have a contingency, definitely. And what I was saying downstairs was, if it's a bigger budget, like a 50, 60 grand refurb, then again, I'd be wanting more, not more of a 10%, I'd be wanting more 15, 20% of a contingency. The bigger the refurb budget, the bigger the contingency needs to be, because obviously the bigger the job, the more things that can happen, and they tend generally not small things that can go wrong. So yeah, it's progressing well. We'll see what happens. If you found any value in this video though, or if you want to keep up to date, and you need to make sure that you subscribe to this channel, okay? Please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit this like button as well, and I think that's it. So I'll probably give you another update next Thursday, where what should have happened really by next Thursday. Cadent Gas should have, let's have a look, yeah, Cadent should have fitted the gas downstairs and maybe even the gas meter by Eon next Wednesday, Thursday, maybe. This should hopefully all be boarded inside. Obviously, the bedroom, the back bedroom should be boarded. And we'll see what happens, but let's just keep the job moving. And before we know it, this will just be another one in the portfolio that hopefully will provide us with relatively passive income, okay? Don't believe in that it's all 100% passive income. Of course, you're not trading your time for money like you would do in a normal 9 to 5. This should be like set and forget as much as possible, really. Anyway, good luck. Like I said, hit the subscribe button and all the best. Take care, everybody. Good luck.